Hey everybody, welcome to Squad Pod Sports, where we bring you our thoughts on the latest games and sports news around the sports world, brought to you by the Sideline Sports Network. Week 9 is past. A lot of weird games have come and gone.
Really weird
I
games.
feel like the past 3 weeks now, we've had a lot of weird, bad games, and just a lot of weird games in general, just going in a different team's favor. But we'll talk about the Week 9 breakdown. We had into Week 10 already, which is crazy. We're already getting towards the end of the season here, man. I mean,
seems
it's only
like
17
it's
weeks
flying by. And
Yeah.
I know every year the NFL season seems like that, but this year it's already week 10. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm glad we have an extra week at least this year, but already week 10.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll break down Week 9 here before rolling into our predictions for Week 10, like we always do. NBA is in full effect. We'll talk about some NBA news, possible like the standings as of right now, what teams are hot, what teams are not. We got to start bringing that into the fold here again.
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay, yes. We're going to be having the hot and not list. I might do that mid-episode, but I'll have that for you here. I did have the power rankings, the ESPN power rankings, but I forgot about the hot and not list. That's something we need to bring back here.
Definitely. And then, of course, we'll roll into the bias bubble and crazy sports fact of the podcast. But we'll head right into our breakdown of Week 9 here, starting off with the Thursday night game, the Colts and the Jets. Both picked the Colts in this one, even though everybody expected Mike White and the hot Jets, to maybe squeak out a win. But it wasn't so.
They should have expected it, but they did.
But they did. And it turned out as everybody else expected, including us, the Colts and Carson Wentz put stomping on them on Thursday Night Football.
So I was happy to see that because, like you said, we both picked the Colts in that one. We thought it was going to happen, even though Mike White, the sensation, is all this, you know what I mean? But
got hurt.
We really thoroughly expected that here.
He didn't even
ended up getting hurt in the game. Look at that. That was a hot flash in the pan. It's over already.
On the Colts, Carson was 22 of 30, 272 yards, 3 touchdowns, man. Jonathan Taylor, 172 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Like, he was doing work.
Yeah, if he can keep that up and Carson could just play normal, not mess up the game or anything, just keep rolling, like, that's going to be a scary team.
Carson just doesn't want to play normal, safe quarterback. He wants to somehow put himself in danger and, I'm going to make this play whether I break my leg or not. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He puts his body in harm's way at any chance to make the play. And I respect it, but it's dangerous.
It's so dangerous. I mean, just I hope he doesn't jeopardize the team's future because he wants to make the play. He needs to make the safe play and just help. Look, they put up 45 points. They were fine. They won this game. You're little middle of the pack there, 4 and 5, but you still have plenty of a chance to make the playoffs here.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, put it in perspective, watching your team, on a weekly basis is stressful enough, depending on what team you root for. But on top of that, you have a QB that's just, reckless.
Yeah.
And
just
it's that's a whole nother level of stress that, I'm glad we don't have to worry about anymore. I have other problems on this team.
You got some other problems, but everybody's got problems.
I don't have to worry about my QB as of right now.
Exactly.
At least getting hurt or anything like that, knock on wood. But yeah, I mean, Colts did their work. The Jets, Mike White got hurt. He had 95 yards and a touchdown before he left. But the backup that came here, Josh Johnson, had 317 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. But it was 45-30. Jets they were playing from behind the whole time. Colts just had a lead from the get-go.
Right.
But we both picked Colts on that one. Browns and the Bengals on Sunday kicked off. Did not go as expected at all.
This messed everything up for me. This messed
everything.
It all up for
this
me.
is this changes everything.
I really don't understand what team this Browns organization is and what they bring to the plate every day. Now they're free of Odell, so it seems like they're we're great and peaceful here. Look, everything's great here.
It always seemed like they played better without Odell. And now it's,
I know.
I don't know. It's like
now
a weight's lifted. The clouds have been parted. It's all sunny in Cleveland, except for Baker's broken left half of his body.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the Patriots play them this week, so we get to get right in the way of that, So yeah. Good luck to Mac Jones and them. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean,
But
just like
the
that,
Browns,
Cincy, like they're tied with the Browns now in the division.
hmm
Like they're not the clear front runner anymore. But Cincy, they didn't look good at all. They only put up 16 points. Joe Burrow, no touchdowns and 2 picks.
I was so surprised. I really thought. I mean, like the Browns defense showed up at the end of the day.
Oh
Like
yeah,
Joe Mixon really couldn't really do anything. Um, Joe Burrow couldn't really do anything. I was just
yeah, he was on the run the whole
surprised.
time. That line was just getting through. And I mean, they have Jamar Chase, but man, offensive lineman could have helped in that draft. Maybe a Penny Sewell.
I know, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. At
Yeah,
least they got
exactly.
Jamar
They
Chase.
need to work on that O line. I mean, if they work on that O line and they toughen it up, sky's the limit for
hmm
the Bengals.
Right.
But Nick Chubb, 137 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Browns, man.
Hey, Nick Chubb. Didn't I just saw something about him testing positive for COVID or something.
Yeah, but I think he's vaccinated. So they're saying
Okay,
if he
so
tests positive, like negative twice within like 24 hours, he can play pretty much.
so he's probably gonna play against my Patriots. Great.
Yeah,
Cool.
but I mean the Browns, they brought up another running back for the practice squad, I guess, but they're running low on running backs right now.
They're running low on players, period. Like you said,
Yeah,
Baker's playing half a broken body right now.
yeah.
You know,
Somehow
trying to make it through.
they're 5-4 still. But we both picked the Bengals in this one. Like we did not know what the Browns were gonna be. They lost
Took
the
the
week
L on
before.
that one.
Yeah. And speaking of taking the L on this one, the Broncos and the Cowboys.
Speaking of taking the L on this one.
What happened?
Oh,
Like
man.
everybody hyping the Cowboys up, and then they damn near got blown. Like had a 0 on the scoreboard. They put up 16 points there towards the end of the game in garbage time.
Yeah.
But man, that most of that game they had 0 points on the board. They could not do anything.
I think they said it was like his worst first half in his career. You know, like, or it could have been like Cowboys history or something like that.
Yeah,
Like he had a historically bad first half. I don't understand what happened, especially against Denver. But look at Denver, man. They're still rolling. They're still trying to be above the Chiefs. They're fighting. Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Denver. That division is fighting it out right now. So we'll see what happens come playoff time. But
that is going to
good
be
on
an interesting
Broncos
thing
there.
to watch going towards the end of the season. But Dak, he had 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Zeke, he only had 51 yards, but he got hurt. He was out for a majority of the game. But even then, they couldn't do anything on the ground. Denver was just stopping them. Even without, trading Von Miller, getting Von Miller out there, they were still wrecking shit for the Cowboys there. And they were not able to get it going at all. Broncos, impressive, man. They were impressive. Teddy B,
very impressive.
249 yards and a touchdown. Was it Jamal Williams? Oh, Javonte Williams. Sorry, not Jamal Williams. 111 yards, and Melvin Gordon 80 yards and a touchdown. Crazy, man. Broncos, who knows? They're another team like they look really bad the past couple weeks.
The Chargers have slid a little bit here, and the Raiders are so like I have no idea who's going to win that division. It could be Denver at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we both picked the Cowboys on this one, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we both ended up. What'd you say? 7-7.
Yep. 7-7 for the week. Spoiler alert, but
good.
This was not a great week for us, but we're still very, very positive overall in the season.
Yeah. I think this is probably our worst week out of all the weeks so far.
Yeah, combined for sure.
But man, kudos to them Broncos. They were able to pull it out though. Texans and the Dolphins here. Man, this could have gone either way. We didn't even know how to pick this. But yeah, we picked it. We got it correct. But it was one that could have went either way. I mean, Tyrod Taylor came back into action for the Texans.
To throw 3 interceptions. This dude. I mean, I like Tyrod Taylor. I don't know how they pronounce it, but Jacoby Brissett even came in two interceptions.
Tua apparently got broken finger or something. He's going to be
9 turnovers combined. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was an ugly game. That game.
This game. But like we said, our picks were correct. We picked Miami for that one there.
Yeah, that's all that matters on that one.
That's really all that matters.
Falcons in the state. That's all that matters. In that, at least that game is we picked correctly.
In that game, exactly.
Falcons and the Saints. I saw this one kind of going either way. I think we picked both the Saints, right?
Yeah, we both picked the Saints, and I think you were gonna pick Atlanta, and I
was going to
convinced you
pick them. Yeah.
to pick New Orleans, and I feel sorry for that, and I apologize.
It's all right. I could have got that one back since I was one down on you for the record.
But we both picked New Orleans in this one. I really thought, especially at the end, I thought it was going to happen, but they couldn't pull it out there.
I got to start second guessing now because like Atlanta, they're 500 now. They're 4-4. They're not a bad team, but they're not a good team. But they're capable of getting wins. You know.
The thing is, I didn't realize the Saints quarterback situation was as bad as it was. Trevor Siemian really isn't the answer. He wasn't making bad passes by any means. He was definitely dropping it in there, but it's going to be tough to win some football games with him. That's why he's on his 5th or 6th team now, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he had 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, but the stats really showed different than what was actually the product on the field. Right. Matt Ryan, though, he came down in the clutch, was able to get that win, you know, 343 yards for Matty Ice, 2 touchdowns, no picks for Matty Ice. Had an overall good game. I mean, Cordell Patterson, 126 receiving yards. Crazy.
Cordell Patterson's doing it all. He does whatever he wants, like whatever he can. He puts the team on his back.
But yeah, I should have picked dang Falcons on that one, man. But yeah, who knows what the Saints are going to do here going forward.
This next one here, we both caught another out.
Yeah, Raiders and the Giants. We both picked the Raiders on this one, man. And
damn it, Derek Carr.
What's happening to these Raiders? It's another team that they looked good like previously and then just fall apart.
Falling apart, man, and I don't understand it. Like, if you look at, like I said, let's just circle back to that division there. If you look at that division specifically, I think they're all like 5-4, 4-5, something like that. Let me see here. You have Los Angeles Chargers at 5-3, Las Vegas Raiders at 5-3, Kansas City Chiefs at 5-4, Denver Broncos at 5-4. They are all right there. Like, what is going to happen with that division?
It's anybody's at this point.
It's anybody's at this point.
Yeah, it is. Why it's not being talked about enough, I feel.
It's really not. But the Giants came in and got the job done there. So. I mean,
somehow, man, they got their 3rd win of the season, 23-16 victory. It was pretty tight, though, most of the game. It was a knuckleball game most of the game.
I wasn't expecting the Giants to get 3 wins this year, so congratulations to them on that victory alone.
Congratulations, I guess.
I
guess. Derek Carr, 296 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Not looking good.
Darren Waller with 92 yards, though. If he would have had a touchdown for me, it would have been pretty good. But
yeah, Josh Jacobs, 76 rushing yards. Mm-hmm. Danny Dimes, only 110 passing yards and a touchdown.
110 passing yards, man.
He was 15 and 20, so he only missed 5 of them. But, Booker on the ground had 99 yards.
Did he have any interceptions?
No, he didn't have any interceptions. I don't know. It won't tell me if he had any fumbles for rushing or not. With Danny turnovers, I wouldn't be surprised. But they were able to get the win. But yeah, we both lost on that one.
Yeah, we both lost on that one. But this next one, do you have the same next one that I do? The
Patriots.
See, that's what I was worried. Okay, so we'll talk about that one. That one was at the top for me there.
Okay, yeah, I had the Patriots here. Panthers and Patriots.
I convinced you. I didn't really convince you. You kind of went with the Patriots.
Yeah, I knew I was picking the Patriots in this one.
I was very, very happy that you rolled with them. I was like, okay, he's not trying to do some tricky, cheeky shit, because this is a game they could have won. Like, they definitely could have, but Sam Darnold got hurt. There was a lot of shit that happened.
He threw 3 picks to you guys, man. And one was like a pick 6, I'm pretty sure, wasn't it?
Yep. Pick 6 with J.C. Jackson there, but Mac Jones didn't really have a great game. He really did not. No, he ended up having a touchdown. That was 12 of 18 for 139 and 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And I know I was just bagging on Danny Nichols, and he had 20 more yards than him. But Mac Jones really did not have a good game. But we got the win. That's all that really matters.
That is all that matters.
4-0 on the road right now. So. That's one thing. That's one bright spot.
That is impressive. Well, I mean, you guys really ran the ball a lot too, it seemed. And I mean, Mac Jones, he didn't have to rely on passing, but I mean, even when he did, that defense was stirring it up. You got Gilly out there for the Panthers. Got a pick.
I know.
Yes, he has 2 picks in 2 games that he's played now. Like he's still balling out there for the Panthers.
Still the same quarterback, and it's just like ridiculous, man. I wish he could have came to like a contract agreement there, but it is what it is. It's just football.
Yeah, it's business. McCaffrey came back, long awaited return for the Panthers. He was their leading rusher and leading receiver with 54 and 52 yards respectively. No touchdown.
Crazy, man. I was watching like the pregame stuff, and like I see him sitting there on like the goalpost warming up, and I was just like, I didn't know he was back. Like I just got like real worried for a second there. I was like, oh man, I hope he doesn't torch us here, but still got the win there, so I'm very happy for the Patriots there.
Yeah.
Above 500.
Yeah, you're 500 now. You have a run for the division now because we leading into the Bills and Jaguars game. Urban Meyer and the Jaguars somehow managed to get their second win of the season here.
I don't know how they did it, but they held the Bills to 6 points, 2 field goals, and they ended up.
I'll tell you how. Josh Johnson got into Josh Allen's head. Josh Allen got into Josh Allen's head.
Yep, exactly. I saw that he had like a pick, a sack, and a fumble or something. Yeah, something all against him, man. Like that was crazy.
Everything. Josh Allen got into Josh Allen's head. And that's like the first time that's ever happened, I think. Like a like player of the same name.
Right. It was just pretty cool, but it's wild that the Bills, a team like the Bills, lost this game here. I know it was in Jacksonville, but everybody knows the Jags aren't really a good team, but they're still an NFL team. So
we hyped them up too, the Bills. Like Josh Allen could be MVP. They go like have the best record, like one of the best records of the AFC and the NFL. And then, I mean, they're 5-3 still, but they're looking pretty shaky. Like a lot of these top teams right now, other than maybe the Buccaneers, are looking shaky.
And if they're 5-3, they're a team that's already had their bye week. So like they got to get their shit together. It's not looking good for them right now. You can't lose to the Jaguars. The fuck?
Yeah. But man, the Bills, I mean, Josh Allen had 2 interceptions. He had a strip sack. He led in rushing with 50 yards. Diggs had 85 yards and no touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence, he had an injury scare. He was rolled up on. I'm pretty sure it was like with his ankle. I think
he went to the locker room.
Went to the locker room, but he did end up coming back out eventually. Yep. But he only had 118 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Carlos Hyde, 67 yards, no touchdowns. But nothing really exciting as far as stats or anything. I mean, he was 9-6.
That was a knuckleball game right there.
That was knuckleball. Going to one of the most exciting games of the week, Vikings and the Ravens. Man, the Vikings, they had the Ravens number. Because Lamar Jackson
such a hot start.
Lamar Jackson said, "No, we gonna win this game."
Hold up.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right. I gotta win this game.
120 yards rushing, man. Yeah. Oh my God.
120 yards rushing, 266 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks though. Kirk Cousins, 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. He didn't even have 200 yards. But Dalvin Cook, bad man, 110 yards rushing.
That's crazy that like there's so many quarterbacks that didn't break 300 yards or even 200 yards this week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like defenses were for the game this week.
Right. The defenses came. Man, that's crazy. But yeah, Lamar Jackson and them ended up squeaking it out. You have a classic Justin Tucker winning field goal at the end, you know.
It ain't even a question like, oh, we just gotta go down here, kick field goal, win this shit. Like at that point, you're like, oh, we gotta get within a certain range. Like, don't matter.
Nope.
Where you at?
We'll get Justin Tucker down there around 60 yards. He'll make that shit from anywhere from 60 yards up. We're good.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
But yeah, it was a close one, man. 34-31. Ravens were able to come back and get it. Good. I think who'd we pick in this one?
Baltimore.
So we got that one. Got that one right. at least.
Another close one like that, like this.
They're
was
in every game that they play.
They were really in, man. They really had a chance to win that game, and it slipped away. The Ravens are 6-2 for a reason because they close out games like that.
Yeah.
So
closers.
See what happens with the Vikings' chances for playoffs are slipping further and further away, even though they're a good football team.
Yeah, I agree. The next one here, Packers and the Chiefs. Everyone knows the story at this point. It's been all over the news, not even just sports news, but everywhere news. Like Aaron Rodgers, getting COVID, and not only getting COVID, going out and digging himself into a hole on the Pat McAfee show trying to explain himself. And then which angered everybody even more. And then he went on today and tried to smooth everything out as of recording. But he was out. Jordan Love was in. Even so, this game could have got out of hand really quickly with the Chiefs, but these Chiefs just cannot do anything for some reason. It ended up 13-7. It was so close, even with Jordan Love in at QB for the Packers.
Even with their defense holding them to one touchdown, with Jordan Love being, rookie quarterback there.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense what's going on with the Chiefs offense. That should be fine. All the pieces are still there. What's the difference? What happened?
Pat Mahomes, I don't know.
Is there an injury we don't know about? Things like that.
He's just like throwing wild throws, like overthrowing people, underthrowing people. Not like, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Pat Mahomes right now. And it's not even just him, but the rest of the team too.
Yeah, but somehow they're still 5-4.
Yeah, they don't look like a 5-4 team.
But they don't look like a 5-4 team. They look more like the fucking Vikings at 3-5. They should switch records with them.
Yeah. Pat Mahomes, 166 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. Kelsey, 68 yards and a touchdown. And Packers, Jordan Love, 190 yards. Neither of the QBs broke 200 like we were talking about before. Jordan Love, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Aaron Jones, 53 yards, no touchdown. Randall Cobb, 50 yards, no touchdown. The only touchdown was Adam Lazard. But yeah, I mean, Packers couldn't get the win without Aaron Rodgers. It's just not the same.
Yeah, and going into this, we both picked, I think, Green Bay, but that's because we didn't know.
We didn't know Aaron Rodgers. It was like, of course, the day after we shoot the podcast, like Aaron Rodgers has COVID. You're like, great.
Fuck.
He's not vaccinated either. Oh, okay. He's out even longer. So, okay. But yeah, and going to another team without their starting quarterback, but it was the complete opposite. They dominated Arizona Cardinals and the 49ers. Oh, Colt McCoy, gunslinging Colt McCoy, 249 yards and a touchdown, 22-26. Man, he was slinging it. And then you had James Conner on the ground, 96 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Left for Chase Edmonds, or what's his name? Yeah. Chase Edmonds going down. James Conner had a much bigger role there with 96 yards and 2 touchdowns, like you said. But I was really surprised and happy to see them still rolling, just like business as usual without Kyler Murray
there. Signs of a good team, man.
That's signs of a good team right there. With the 49ers falling once again.
And not only that, even without their top receiver, DeAndre Hopkins didn't play either. So, I mean, Christian Kirk ended up balling out for him 90 yards.
I know George Kittle did have 101 and a touchdown there. But the Cardinals ended up taking the game, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, 31-17. On the 49ers side, Jimmy Garoppolo, 326 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Elijah Mitchell, 36 yards. George Kittle came back in his first game back, 100 yards and a touchdown. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. I mean, the Cardinals, they're favorites as of right now. I don't understand, bro. They're 8-1 now, and I feel like they're not getting the recognition. They're not. People are somehow picking the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl over the Cardinals at this point. How?
Because they're drinking the Kool-Aid.
They're drinking the media Kool-Aid. Like, bro, the Cardinals overall are such an impressive team on offense and defense.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys find a way to miss the playoffs.
A lot of games left.
There's a lot of games left.
A lot of games left, and just having this performance against Denver, you never know.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Cardinals still marching on. The Cowboys take a step back.
Cardinals are a pick every week at this point. You got to pick the Cardinals, no matter who they play. Right. starting to think the same about we're not leading this one. Last 4 o'clock game here. Chargers and the Eagles. I guess we gotta talk about here.
Gotta talk about it.
Offenses were the name of the game. And all these defensive games we talked about, this one was just touchdown on each side.
Defense.
No defense on either side. And it just came out to who really outdueled each other. I mean, just Jalen Hurts didn't really, he threw the ball when he had to, but it was mostly another week of running for the Eagles, and it worked out.
Jordan Howard, man.
The defense, on the other hand, Eagles allowing like their fourth QB this year to have an above like 85% passer rating, which is unacceptable, bro. And like they're on track to have one of the worst defenses. Like it's insane. Jonathan Gannon needs to fix this shit. It seems like he's only like putting pressure on bad QBs. He like respects these good QBs too much to put pressure and try to blitz them. I don't understand.
Like he's trying to drop back in coverage.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing soft, and I just don't understand it, man. And I mean, even the defensive players after this game were like, "We're not the defensive coordinator. We just make the plays that like we do the plays that are called."
Man.
Like they're throwing them under the bus. And at this point, Nick Sirianni's game plan's good as far as offense. I'm fine with these past 2 weeks. Like, you're running the ball, you're using play action, getting big chunks of yardage. Like, I'm cool with that, but this defense needs to somehow get you stops so you're not going to win games. If we would have had one stop against these Chargers, Eagles would have won this game. It's crazy. But, man, Chargers,
crazy, man.
They pulled out Justin Herbert, 32 of 38, 356 yards and 2 touchdowns. Austin Eckler, 59 yards. Keenan Allen, 100 yards. Jalen Hurts
had a touchdown on the ground too.
Yeah, he ran one in. Jalen Hurts, 162 yards and a touchdown, no picks. He's good. He's been good with not turning the ball over as far as, Jalen Hurts. Jordan Howard rushed 71 yards and a touchdown. He's actually going to be on the active roster from here on out, it seems. They used up their last week of like bringing him up. You can only do it twice, I guess, on the year, bringing a practice squad player up.
Having to put him on, you have to sign him to a contract.
Yeah, and it's looking like they're making a spot for Jordan Howard on the roster, which I think they should have done at the beginning of the year. I mean, he's proved that he can be that power back for him, and even when Miles Sanders comes back, they need to keep utilizing him in there.
Absolutely.
And Devontae Smith had a great game too, 116 yards and a touchdown, man.
I know, on my bench, I should have started him, man.
He had a great game. But yeah, the Chargers were able to pull it out, 27-24. They decided to go down and kick a field goal because it was tied up at the very end.
Won the game.
It sucks. It breaks your heart when you lose by a field goal, bro. I was like,
know.
I hate it.
I know.
But yeah, we'll go into the night game. The Titans and the Rams, man. These Titans might be the real deal, Holyfield, even without Derrick Henry.
Even without Derrick Henry, man. I mean, Ryan Tannehill only had 143 yards there, but they put business down like this. The Rams are a great offense, and they shut them down. Cooper Kupp still had 95 yards. Robert Woods still had 98 yards, but they ended up shutting them down enough to win this game.
Matt Stafford had 2 picks.
Exactly. That defense was doing exactly what it needed to do. Like, get the offense the ball. No matter how many possessions, like they just need more, especially without Derrick Henry. They need as many offensive possessions as possible.
Yeah. And I mean, they picked up Adrian Peterson. He had 21 yards and a touchdown in his first game back. I'm sure he's going to get a more ramped up role here going forward each game.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, until you see otherwise, these Titans on offense and defense look great. They're well balanced.
They're looking like they were last year there. So we'll see what happens at the end of the year, but they're rolling along here, beating great teams in a row.
Yeah, in a row. I mean, they're 7-2. The Rams are now 7-2. Rams are questionable. Like, they're not a pick every week like they were before. Like, I don't know if I can trust them as of right now.
We'll see. I know this was a tough matchup here with Tennessee. So against lesser teams, I would definitely pick the Rams, but I'll have to definitely take a look at some of the matchups going forward here.
True. And speaking of questionable stuff, we'll go into the Monday night game, the Bears and the Steelers. We'll talk about these damn refs being questionable, not bumping into players and throwing flags, calling taunting whenever there's like no words said or actions done at all. Like
stupid penalty.
Stupid penalties, man. And not only that, there's a couple other things in the game. Steelers were able to pull it off, but the Bears tried to have a comeback towards the end, and that's where the problems, lie. In these game time decisions, like whenever it comes to calls, they're just not making the right ones as far as the refs.
Exactly, and it's evident, and it's happening on the primetime games, so for everybody can see it every week.
Yeah, and I mean, I probably think the Steelers would have won it regardless, but come on, call a fair game at least.
Exactly, come on, that's just how I feel about it. I think it's the dumbest rule, and I hope they get rid of it here soon.
I hope so, man. The taunting thing is ridiculous at this point. I understand if it's actually taunting when someone's getting up with someone's face or something. But this dude just stood there. He just stood there. And then, the ref just bumped into him as he was walking by. Come on now. You can't be doing that. Can't be doing it all. But before we get
the Steelers, like we said, we did pick the Steelers on that one there. But
yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, we both picked the Steelers. We knew that they were probably going to win that. Justin Fields looked good, though, in that game.
He did. Almost 300 yards. He did have an interception, but almost 300 yards.
Yeah, almost 300 yards. Montgomery came back. His first came back 63 yards, no touchdowns. Kmet, the tight end, at 87 yards. And then the Steelers, old Roethlisberger, 205 yards. He actually had over 200. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Najee Harris, 62 yards and a touchdown. He's continuing to ball out this year too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, before we get into our Week 10 picks here, we'll go through all the latest news, catch you up on everything as of right now before we go into Week 10, of course. With all the Aaron Rodgers hoopla that's been going on, the NFL has decided to fine the Green Bay Packers $300,000 for violating NFL and NFLPA COVID protocols, and they fined Aaron Rodgers and Allen Lazard $14,650 as well.
Damn, man.
And that's it. And apparently some owners and people within the NFL are a little mad that's all it was. They think it was just a slap on the wrist whenever they think it should have been, I don't know. I don't know what they wanted.
They want him suspended or something because
I don't think he should have been suspended, but I don't know.
That's what they want because they want Aaron Rodgers to not be playing games, but it is what it is. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be playing football games.
Exactly. And they're only winning football games, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Dalvin Cook's agent, Zach Hiller, says the running back is the victim of a domestic abuse and extortion and that there's a pending litigation and trial that's happening. Damn. Yeah, so Dalvin Cook is in the middle of being, extorted, and apparently he's involved with domestic abuse, too, and I don't think he's the one doing the domestic abuse.
Right. It sounds like he's the victim of it.
Yeah, it says he's the victim of domestic abuse. So, I mean,
interesting.
Who knows what's going on there? I didn't see any more details involving this, just that his name popped up from his agent.
Interesting. I hope everything's all right with that situation.
Yeah, it's something to definitely keep an eye on. After 2 days of testing and exams, Panthers QB Sam Darnold's fractured scapula. The right shoulder injury will most likely lead to Darnold missing several weeks. PJ Walker is his backup.
PJ Walker, time to shine.
Time to shine, PJ.
Saw it in the preseason. Let's see it in real game time. It's time to shine.
As of today, Browns released Odell over the weekend. As of today, he officially cleared waivers. Nobody picked him up. He's spoken to a couple teams, but he has no decision as of yet. He's going to weigh out his options. Apparently, he's talked to the Chiefs, the Saints. The Packers are his number one destination as rumored, and apparently he's talked to the Pats as well.
Yeah, I know that he's been talking to the Patriots. I think there's 0% chance, or maybe we'll say 3% chance he comes to the Patriots because he is talking to us. But I really don't think it makes sense right now. It really doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of things unless he's coming to fit into the mold. It doesn't sound like that's what he's even looking for it. He's been public about that, through things and everything.
I mean, this is the first time he's ever been a free agent, but really, I don't know. Well, I guess since he cleared waivers, nobody's on the hook for the contract. So I guess whoever signs him can sign him for whatever.
He's looking for a 1-year deal at this point, a 7-game deal. Or, however
in the middle of a season, just to see what's going on, and then next year
to be a free agent next year as well. So we'll see. If the money's right, then I could see him coming to the Patriots. But otherwise, I could definitely see the Packers making the most sense there.
Yeah, because they're looking to compete. They're looking to add another lethal threat if they can.
Yeah. The Chiefs, man, that'd be crazy. Oh my God, that'd be crazy.
Who knows though? I mean, with the Chiefs going on, I don't know how big of an impact that would be as of right now.
Yeah,
I
true,
feel like
true.
the Packers will be immediate impact. You wouldn't know who to cover.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers is playing great.
Wide receiver Josh Reynolds asked for and was granted his release from the Titans today. He signed as a free agent in the offseason before they traded for Julio Jones. He's 26, headed to waivers, and whoever claims him will only own $500,000 the rest of the way. So it's cheap wide receiver.
See, that's something I can see Bill Belichick going after.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. Like, if the Eagles were looking for someone, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see. This is kind of NBA, kind of NFL news. Worlds collide a little bit. I don't know if you saw this.
I saw this.
Darren Williams, formerly from the Brooklyn Nets and Cavaliers, and Frank Gore, who played in the NFL for pretty much ever.
For the last 50 years.
Are set to fight in a 4-round heavyweight bout leading up to the Jake Paul-Tommy Fury fight. Interesting. I got Frank Gore in this, like, pretty heavily.
I got Frank Gore in this, too. I think he's going to knock the shit out of Darren Williams.
Yeah, I think Darren Williams going to get knocked around.
Frank Gore looks like the type of dude with that square head where you're going to hit him in the head and it's not going to do anything. No. He's just going to look at you and just like grunt and punch you back. Like, Frank Gore is going to fuck him up, man. So we'll see what happens with that fight, but my money's on Frank Gore.
Yeah. This is another name that popped up in the past weeks here on the podcast. John Brown has signed with the Jaguars.
Oh, okay.
To practice squad, as well as running back Kareth White Jr.
Okay.
But John Brown found a home. Dr. Steve Shin, who performed the finger surgery for Seahawks QB Russell Wilson, has declared him ready for action. And the Seahawks have said that he's back. In a statement like Michael Jordan, he's back. And I mean, Russ, they need him at this point. They said it was going to be about 10. They said like around week 10. So this works out. Russ is back.
They're 3-5 right now, man. They need him desperately.
They need Russ to come back and start cooking.
He comes back against the Packers. We'll get to it, but he comes back against the Packers.
Yeah. I mean, that's a rough game. Like, sorry, you're going to come back from injury, but you're going to have to beat the Packers. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. I'll save that one here. Free agent wide receiver Deshaun Jackson signed with the Raiders officially,
so
which they really needed some deep help, with the whole Henry Ruggs situation.
Right. The Raiders are so tumultuous right now, man. They're going through so much.
Yeah, I don't see them winning that division. I mean, even though it's a tight race, I don't expect them
just
to win.
Based off of the distractions.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much going on.
Right.
Dolphins place wide receiver Devontae Parker on injured reserve after suffering a setback in his hamstring.
Damn. Sorry to hear that. Fuck
the Dolphins. Damn shame. MRI confirmed the Jets safety Marcus May tore his Achilles.
Oh, man, that sucks.
Mike White, even in his game and a half that he's played, now has more touchdowns than Zach Wilson on the season. 5. He has 5, and Zach Wilson has 4.
What's the timetable with Zach Wilson coming back?
They don't know. They said a couple weeks, but I haven't seen. He's not playing this week. They're saying Mike White.
So they're gonna roll with Mike White or Josh Jacobs, this other guy, or Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson, yeah. So they're saying Mike White could come back and play.
Okay.
Washington football, D.E. Montez Sweat suffered a fracture in his jaw in Sunday's loss to Denver the other week.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hit up underneath the fucking face mask.
Yeah. It didn't happen this weekend. It happened the week prior. But yeah, he had a fractured jaw.
Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? But yeah, next here we got Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas out for the season after suffering a setback in his ankle injury. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he might be a free agent after this.
Yeah, he's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
He's gonzo, dude.
He's not even trying to bother.
But that's all I had here as far as news within the NFL. We can roll right into our Squad Pod Sports Week 10 picks of the week. We don't recommend you betting on these picks. That's on you. We're just gonna put that now. It's not our fault if you bet these picks and lose.
I'm feeling like I'm having a good week. I'm gonna have a great week this week, man. I'm picking
Hey,
every
that's
single pick
fine,
correct.
but we just gotta say if anybody lose on our picks, it's not our fault. You made those picks.
That's not our fault. You made that pick,
caution.
but I'm picking. I'm gonna let you know I'm gonna go undefeated this week.
I mean, we'll start out with this one. I mean, this one might be. I'm not gonna say it is the lock of the week, but it's close. Thursday night matchup: Ravens, Dolphins. What's your pick, man? Baltimore 7.5.
Baltimore all day. Even down in Miami, it's gonna be. You're gonna see probably them cool ass purple jerseys on the Ravens or the blacks. I don't know what they'll wear. Maybe even the white because they're away, but. I'm hoping we get some cool color rush jerseys there. Yeah. The Ravens are going to dominate. Lamar Jackson is having an amazing year. The Dolphins, we just talked about how shitty everything's going for them. So it's going to be the Ravens all the way on this game.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking the Ravens in this one. They're favored 7.5 points. But for sure, there's no way I'm picking Dolphins in this one.
Right. Move on to Sunday.
Yeah, Falcons and the Cowboys. Dallas are 9-point favorites in this one. I have no idea what to expect at this point.
I'm actually going to roll with Dallas just because it's in Cowboy Stadium there. It's at home.
They just got beat by Denver and at home.
I know. They just got beat by Denver at home. I feel like they're going to have a bounce back there. I know the Falcons are hot, but I'm going to go with the dark horse here if you even want to consider it because it's probably like bad to pick the guy. Like it just looks like all sides are pointing against them right now. But I'm going to go ahead and roll with the Cowboys to have a bounce back game against these Falcons.
I'm inclined to go with you as well. I think Dallas are going to have a bounce back week this week. I can see possibly the Falcons end up getting this, but I don't see it against a reeling Dallas Cowboys unless it's really bad in Dallas. And I think maybe this week we'll really see what Dallas is at this point. I mean, they started off hot, but so have a lot of other teams in the league, and we've seen it in years prior, and we've seen it with the Cowboys too. What's going to happen? Is Dak really more hurt than what they say? Is that what's happening? Is Dak really hurt and they're just not disclosing the nature of it, or what's going on? Or are the Cowboys cooked already?
We'll see. This will be a telltale game for sure.
We'll see against the Falcons because the Falcons, I would say, arguably are better than the Broncos, at least as of right now. Or as I said, arguably.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
But yeah, we'll see. I'm picking the Cowboys in this one as well. Saints and the Titans. Tennessee are somehow 3-point favorites. I would put them higher. I'm definitely taking Tennessee in this one.
I would too, just because of the quarterback situation there. I know Kamara is a beast, but this is in Tennessee as well. The Titans are rolling, like we were talking about just a couple minutes ago. The Titans all the way on this game. Even, like I said, with the Saints being off that loss of Atlanta, if they can try to get a bounce back, this would be a bad game to try to bounce back against. So, Tennessee all the way in this one here.
Definitely rolling with Tennessee. The Colts and the Jaguars. Indy are 10.5 point favorites. I'm definitely taking the Colts in this one.
Yeah, I know the Jaguars are looking nice as well, but the Colts all the way on this one. Carson Wentz is going to make short work of that defense there.
Yeah, and then the Colts will be 5-5 then.
500.
Yep, they'll be at 500 then on that one. Definitely rolling the Colts. Browns and the Patriots.
Oh, man, you already know I'm going with the Patriots all day on this one, man. I don't care. I don't care about Nick Chubb and his X amount of yards and all this. I care about Mac Jones. You see this right here? Mac Jones. Okay? Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. Okay?
Oh, my
God. That's all. I'm just kidding.
Oh, my God.
I'm not making that prediction yet. But I think that we could possibly make the playoffs, man. I think we could possibly make the playoffs.
I think you definitely make the playoffs. I think you have a chance.
String some more wins together. That's all.
I don't know what to pick.
Patriots are 1.5 point favorites right now.
They are. These are two 5-4 teams. Patriots are on a little bit of a win streak. Browns looked great every other game, pretty much at this point.
Exactly. They looked great last week.
But they have the same record as the Patriots. And Odell is gone, and they play better without Odell. I'm picking the Patriots in this one.
Okay.
I'm going to.
That might be bad, but we'll see what happens there.
I'm picking the Patriots. I just feel like they're more well balanced at this point. And I trust Belichick with the coach and everything.
We're finding our identity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout of any kind. I think it's going to be close. I think the Patriots are going to take that one. Bills and the Jets. Bills. They're going to destroy the Jets. They're going to take their frustrations out, I think, from losing last week to the Jaguars. I don't know. Unless Mike White somehow comes in here and Superman.
The quarterback situation's a big question mark right now, so I'm definitely rolling with Buffalo in that game. 13-point favorites there. With the Jets being at home.
For sure rolling with the Bills in that one. Lions and the Steelers here. I'm for sure rolling with the Steelers on this one.
Yeah, the Lions might end up going winless again. They're 0-8 right now. Pittsburgh ain't looking great either, but they're 5-3, so they're hanging on in that division there. So they're definitely vying for a spot there. Pittsburgh 9-point favorites, definitely pick them.
Definitely rolling with them. Buccaneers and Washington. For sure rolling with Tampa Bay. They're 9.5
off a bye week, man.
Yeah. They just rested, and they were already – I mean, they had a couple injuries on offense. Gronk, they need to get healthy. AB, they need to get healthy. But they're pretty healthy otherwise, I'm pretty sure. But there's no doubt I expect this one,
Absolutely. I'm going with Tampa Bay on that one as well.
Panthers and the Cardinals. Rolling with the Cardinals, baby. You
said.
Tell me Kyler Murray isn't going to play again. I don't care. Colt McCoy going to take care of him. It don't matter.
McCoy going to be just fine. 10.5-point favorites.
Kyler,
Arizona.
His foot could be a little sore. That's all right, man. Just take another week off. Colt McCoy got
take the game. Rest. It's fine. Load management.
For sure, go with the Cardinals on that one.
Arizona.
Somehow the Eagles have another 4 o'clock game this week. They're facing the Broncos, who just destroyed the Cowboys.
I'm rolling with Denver, man.
Denver are 2.5-point favorites. I don't know if the Broncos beat the Dallas because they were were not prepared for Denver or what. I don't know if they just didn't see it coming.
Or if the Broncos
are that good. Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to think of it. I trust the Eagles' offense. I just don't trust the defense at all. At all, man. But I don't trust them, even though the Broncos are 5-4. I don't trust the Broncos at all either. That's the thing.
Teddy Bridgewater gonna fuck you up. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be Teddy Bridgewater all the way.
I'm picking the Eagles. I'm picking Philadelphia. They're gonna get win number 4. Philly. Call me a fool, and I'll call myself a fool next week after it happens, after we lose. But shit, I'm taking the Eagles. I'm taking them Birds.
I can't wait to see what happens next week. All right.
You'll know if you see me in a Bulls or a Flyers jersey next week what happened.
That's our first disparity. So that could be the difference.
That's part of it, too. I needed something to disagree on you with, and I feel like this is the perfect one.
If you're right, then we'll be tied for the record there. But I'm going with the Broncos to go with Philly.
Yeah, we might regret it, but we'll see. The Vikings and the Chargers. Chargers are 2.5-point favorites. I'm kind of leaning the Vikings on this one for some reason. Even though they're 3-5, the Chargers are 5-3. The Chargers, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't have beat the Eagles if they even had half a good defense. And
they lost to the Patriots already.
I feel like the Chargers are just not as good as people thought they were at the beginning of the season.
Or they're slightly being figured out. They're kind of like maybe one or two dimensional there, where they're figuring out how to slow them down.
Exactly. So I think I'm going with Minnesota. Yeah, I'm going to pick the Vikings. I'm going to go against the spread on this one.
Hell yeah, me too. I know 2.5 points for the Chargers there, but I'm definitely rolling with Minnesota.
Yeah.
Steal it there.
Nice. Seahawks and the Packers here. Aaron Rodgers going to come back. Russell Wilson coming back. 3-5 Seahawks looking to try to get out of that hole against the Packers. I think I might pick the Packers here, man. I'm just going to roll with the Packers.
Me too. That's going to be a tough hole to dig yourself out of. Coming to Lambeau, with Aaron Rodgers coming off of a rest week.
Yeah, exactly. A rest week. And that defense has been hot for the Packers.
Exactly. and you got Russell Wilson trying to integrate back into the system. So
yeah,
it's going to be a good game most likely, but the Packers are going to come out with that one.
Yeah, for sure. Chiefs and the Raiders. I don't even know what to pick on this game, man. To be honest,
roll with the Chiefs because I feel like like we said, the Raiders
the
are
dysfunction
drama every week. We don't know what's going on. Well, actually, the thing is, we do know what's going on with the Raiders. It's so public every week. We don't know what's going on with the Chiefs and their turmoil. That's all internal. So I think the Chiefs are figuring it out. They're still winning games. They still have Tyreek Hill and Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce. They're going to probably end up winning the shootout with the Raiders there.
The Raiders. It'll be close. Yeah, I'll pick the Chiefs in this one. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're only 2.5-point favorites, but yeah, I don't trust the Raiders either. And with all the dysfunction that's going on, losing players and cutting players now.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely going with the Chiefs on that one, which leads us to the last one here, Monday night game, Rams and the 49ers. I'm definitely picking the Rams in this one. They're 4-point favorites, but the 49ers just haven't been good at all either.
They really haven't. And this isn't really – it's an away game, but they don't got to go very far. You know, it's just right up state. Like, they're going to just be chilling. They're going to have a ton of fans there as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely rolling with the Rams here, even coming off that loss from last week there.
Yeah, definitely. But that's our picks for Week 10 here. And, of course, we'll break down everything that happened next week and then the picks for Week 11. Which we'll roll right into NBA talk here. We can kind of go down the standings, kind of talk about some teams. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go through like the conference or just the kind of divisions here? I don't know how you break down.
I did get a hot and not list there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's go here with Vern's hot and not list here this week. We're bringing it back.
That real quick. Bringing it back. Okay. So on the hot list, Golden State. Okay, 5 straight wins. Sitting at 9-1 right now over the last 10 games. Incredible.
Best record in the NBA.
Steph Curry dropped 50 points the other night. Man,
they don't even have Clay back fully yet.
Don't even have Clay back. That's the craziest part about it, man. So Golden State number 1 on that list right now as far as the hottest team. And like a disclaimer for my list, if this is your first time, like this isn't like the best teams in the NBA. This is just the hottest teams since the last podcast.
Yeah, if they're on a roll, on a streak of some sort.
Exactly. So Phoenix, 5-game winning streak. They're 6-3 over the last 9 games there, but still not terrible.
Yeah,
5-game streak.
They started off pretty rough. They were losing some games to start off. So they're kind of getting back up. I mean, they're already up to the 4th seed now. They're 6-3. They're above 500. But yeah, they got off to a rough start and they're really finding their groove now.
This next one probably won't be very long standing on this hot list here, but I had Cleveland, who's on a 4-game winning streak.
Cleveland's surprising people.
7-3 right now.
We talked about kind of their hodgepodge of just random players, it seems, and it's somehow working as of right now. Like you're saying, who knows if it'll last. But, I mean, as of right now, they're the 5 seed in the East. They're above the Nets. They're above the Nets right now.
Exactly. So, well, it probably won't last very long, but I got to give them credit where credit's due.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Then last on the list here is another team who started off pretty bad, and they're kind of coming back now. The Clippers, who are on a 4-game win streak here, 5-4 over the last 9 games there. So Clippers making a little bit of a comeback. It's super early, but had to put them on the list there. My Lakers ain't sniffing this list right now. But I do have the not list, okay?
Yeah.
Which is, with yin and yang there. So Houston, a permanent resident on the not list, if you remember.
As of even last year, a permanent resident.
If you remember from last year, Houston spent weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on this not list. They're already
they had like a record last year of how many games they lost.
Yeah, but they're already on a 8-game losing streak as of this recorded. 1-9 over the last 10 games. Okay.
Yeah.
New Orleans. 7-game losing streak, 1-9 over the last 10 games.
Yeah, and I mean they don't have what's his name? Zion. I mean, They need to get him out of there too, man. They need to get free Zion.
Like AD, free Zion, man. And then I also had Charlotte, who started off nice. They're on a 5-game losing streak, 3-7 over the first 10 games there. You know what I mean? Not good. And then Minnesota, who's also a frequent flyer on this list here.
Yeah.
5-game losing streak with a 3-6 over the last 9 games there. So that's just kind of not looking great for them either.
Yeah, I mean, I saw even Atlanta. They're on a 5-game losing streak. They're 3-7 in their last 10. Like they're not looking good at all.
Going on,
What's going
early
on?
early jitters, trying to get everything situated, figure out who you are.
Yep. And as far as like we talked about the standings a little bit when we talked about those teams, but Western Conference, you got Golden State, Utah, Dallas, Phoenix, Memphis, Denver, the Clippers, and then the Lakers right behind the Clippers. 9, 7, and 8 right there, the two LA teams. You on their ass.
Man, the Lakers are not good right now.
You're above 500 at this point. You 6-5 as of this recording.
We'll get to that more in my bubble, but Lakers got some shit ahead of them here.
Yeah, I mean, and then the East, you got the top 3 seeds are all 7-3. You got Miami Heat, Chicago, the Washington Wizards, the 76ers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Nets, the Knicks. That's so weird. You had like the Clippers, Lakers in the West, and on the East you have Nets and Knicks right back to back, and then Toronto at the 8 seed. But like you were saying, I don't see Cleveland sticking around in there. I don't know how good Washington is going to be either. Maybe I can see them squeaking out like the 8 seed or 7 seed. But I mean, you got other teams like that. I mean, Milwaukee isn't even in the top 8 as of right now. Milwaukee's 5-6 on the year so far. Charlotte and Boston, I could possibly see getting better. And Atlanta, they're 4-8 as of right now. Who knows? I mean, there's a long season ahead.
Yeah,
still.
There's a lot of teams sitting outside that you think are going to be there in the end of the year there.
Yeah, exactly. And just some NBA news that I have here. We'll talk about reigning NBA MVP Nikola Jokic officially suspended 1 game for shoving Markieff Morris in the Nuggets win over the Heat. Morris was also fined $50,000.
Bro, Jimmy Butler was trying to like fight him and his brothers.
He was trying to meet him in the parking lot.
He was like, meet me out back. Right now.
Even like I saw it across all the teams that he's been on, the Bulls, like the Timberwolves, the Sixers, and it's one thing, Jimmy has his teammates back in every situation. Like you do wrong by somebody, he's immediately hopping on you.
Right.
Like he was right. Apparently, I saw that they were apparently like Heat players, including Jimmy, waiting and outside the locker rooms.
Just with baseball bats.
Wearing leather jackets. Like an old gang from the 50s or something. But yeah, man. I mean, even though they lost, but yeah, Nikola Jokic officially suspended 1 game for doing that. Andre Drummond for the Sixers. Joel Embiid is out. They're missing like 4 players due to health and safety protocols for the Sixers. Andre Drummond, who's filling in, had 14 points and 25 rebounds.
Damn.
The other night, man.
Holy shit.
He's the first Sixers player with 25 rebounds in a game since Charles Barkley in '87.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
I was like, holy hell. Denver Nuggets, Michael Porter is out for the foreseeable future after sustaining a back injury in the past weekend.
Damn.
Yeah, just cannot stay healthy, man. I mean, they knew that when they were drafting him. But I mean, he was balling out. He was having a great season. Even last year he was playing well. But yeah, exactly.
Damn.
But yeah, it sucks to see. You mentioned about Golden State having a great record. Steph, as of last night, dropped 50 points. 50 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, 9 3-pointers in 35 minutes. He joins James Harden as the only player to put up 50 points and 10 assists in 35 minutes or in 35 minutes or fewer in 40 seasons, in the last 40 seasons. So, damn.
He's on fire this year already, just continuing off of the end of last year. So he might end up, we'll see. That's a sleeper. It's weird that's a sleeper, but that's a sleeper MVP pick for me this year here. Not Giannis or KD. It could be Steph.
Definitely could be Steph. I mean, we even talked about him being in competition last year about possibly being MVP.
With only like half of the year worth of him being crazy.
And they didn't have the record like they have right now. I mean, it's early, but still, they weren't performing like this. Cleveland Cavaliers guard Colin Sexton suffered a torn meniscus to his left knee. No immediate timetable on a return, more testing to come, but expects Sexton to have an extended absence for the Cavaliers, and they're 7-4 as of right now, like we were saying.
Damn.
Kyrie Irving's name is expected to be on the 2022 NBA All-Star ballot somehow.
They're probably going to vote him in if it's a fan vote.
Exactly. Yeah, that leaves open the possibility that the Nets star could make his first, last, and only appearance of the season in an All-Star game.
That'd be hilarious.
Ridiculous.
I would love that. That'd be hilarious. If he just comes in, plays the All-Star game, he's like, "Boom."
You just vote a dude that didn't even touch the court into an All-Star game. How?
I hope so. I just want to see it happen.
The Warriors' points in the last 3 games, they allowed 82, 92, and 85. They have the best defense in the season and currently the best by any team in the last 18 seasons.
Damn. And that offense is on all cylinders.
Killer.
So,
ongoing saga, the 76ers have started finding Ben Simmons again. $360,000 per game. And for missing Thursday game, and a plan to resume finding him going forward until he cooperates with the team physicians on his mental health issues. Since that has come out, he's officially starting to work with them on.
He's like, all right, fine,
yeah,
we're coming.
Exactly. So as soon as they started finding him again, they're starting to kind of work things out. He still hasn't seen the court, and it doesn't look like he's gonna see the court. There was rumors about them in trade talks with the Celtics, which reportedly have been denied already. They're saying that was not true.
Yeah.
So who knows what's going to happen in the Ben Simmons saga?
Man, another day, another detailed story on what's going on. You know, like now, like you said, like there was news about, oh, we're going to start finding again, and since then, even okay, well, he's reported he's going to be starting to talk to the team doctors and everything. So we'll see what happens by next week.
Yeah. And the next one here, I only have 2 things left. Over 70 former and current Suns employees have described a toxic workplace culture under managing partner Robert Sarver, including allegations of misogyny, that he used racist language and slurs as well. Sarver denied many of the allegations through his legal team, but there's a lot of noise coming out, a lot of stories coming out as well. Apparently there is news saying that like his wife is like messaging former like higher up managers and stuff that worked for the Suns secretly. So I don't know what's going on there.
That's a developing story right there, man.
Yeah, that's developing.
There's a lot of stuff going on with that where this owner could end up being like a Donald Sterling type situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very similar to the Donald Sterling thing, except without like the tape and everything. But as far as the allegations and stuff, it's very much similar. So I mean, they could be forced, sell the team.
We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, and the last thing I had here is Dame once again coming out and saying that he remains committed to Portland. We talked about it last week, I'm pretty sure, where he had the statement saying that he's there. He wants to be in there. He wants to win a championship. He was asked about possibly joining the Lakers, apparently. I don't know if you saw this, but no. He said that he felt that he wouldn't belong with the Lakers with LeBron and AD. His quote was, I'm sure it would be great to play with LeBron and AD and play in a big market, but as fun as that might be, I don't feel in my heart that's who I am or where I belong.
Okay, so he's just sticking around for now.
For now, he's keeping it real as of right now. But that's all the news as far as NBA that I have. We can go right into the bias bubbles before we hit to the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. What do you have? I actually have one that's part of yours, and I don't know if you want to hear it or not.
We'll get to that here.
I'm sure you already know.
But I'll start with my Lakers, okay?
Yeah.
So apparently this is something quick. There was news of a potential Eric Gordon trade with Houston. So I would like to see that happen. I don't know what we'd have to give up for it there. But that was just very interesting. I was like, oh, okay. We'll see what happens down the line here. Big overtime win over Charlotte. And I only say that because we're 6-5 right now. So any win that we can get is great right now. Anthony Davis had a great game. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 5 blocks, man. He balled out. I love it. Melo had 29 points, and Westbrook had a triple-double with 17, 15 rebounds, and 11 assists. So it was great. The bad news. Bad news is
real bad news.
LeBron James, okay, out 4 to 8 weeks. What do you mean?
I saw 1 to 2 months.
That's 4 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but yeah, I guess so. But I mean, on top of what's already the games he's missed.
I know, man. Abdominal strain. So we're gonna have to be without LeBron James for the foreseeable future. So
I guess it's better to get it out of the way now Then
exactly.
unlike last year where it happened like in the middle of the season towards the end.
Don't rush him back. I give the team to Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. Just let them run with it here. And Melo. That's our big three at the moment.
That's the big three.
We'll see how things go going forward with the Lakers there, but we're 6-5, not looking great. Got injuries, ton of injuries, people dealing with injuries already, but Lakers are definitely hit by it here. And then as far as the Patriots, beat up on them Panthers, 24-6. I was very happy, very, very happy. Okay, We've got a game coming up against the Browns here, like we were saying, with Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, half of Baker Mayfield or whatever. Jarvis Landry's healthy, so it's going to be a tough game. It's going to definitely be a tough game. The Patriots are, I think, 1-4 or something like that at home, where we're 4-0 on the road in this game at home. So, I'm like, oh, God, we're not as solid at Gillette Stadium as we used to be. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that goes. J.C. Jackson in this game, man, he had a great game against the Panthers. 2 picks, that pick 6, which was great. Jamie Collins also had a pick. Welcome back, Jamie Collins. I think the really dark horse, man, this team could be a team.
That's what I was saying. Like, especially in the AFC, playoffs. You never know right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's only a couple teams that are like top tier. Like,
I'd be afraid of the Titans. I'd be afraid of the Ravens. Right, things like
that's
that.
That's about it. Like,
that's about it.
Maybe who knows by the end of the season what the other teams could look like. But I mean, it seems like the Bills and you guys are either gonna make it out of there.
Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much all I had there. What did you have as far as like that bad news, or was it LeBron?
Yeah, it was the LeBron about like 1 to 2 months. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, because at first it was only like maybe like a couple games, like 2 games, 3 games or something, and then they're like 1 to 2 months. Holy hell. But yeah, Bulls are back, baby. We lost after a 2-game skid to the Sixers. We came back and beat them Nets. We held them to like 36% through the second half there, which we were able to come back and get the dub. DeMar is now the 10th active player in the NBA to reach 18,000 points. So, I mean, that's cool, I guess. I saw that today. He's only the 10th active player to reach 18,000 points. So, I mean, that's cool. DeMar's just been balling, dude. Like, he's averaging 26 points per game. He's in the top 5 as far as points per game right now. So is Zach LaVine, which is crazy that we got 2 players doing that, like unseen over the past couple years here in Chicago. We finally got a decent team that can kill you in the fourth. Even against the Sixers, where we lost both games, they made the comeback and like almost won it there in the fourth. And it kind of worries me they get off to a slow start, but they're able to pull it off. They're a closing team.
This team's going to be scary come playoff time, man.
Exactly. Because, I mean, DeMar DeRozan's hitting not just threes, but he's lethal at mid-range. He's just jacking up just mid-range shots and just bucket, like switch.
Lonzo's playing great.
Lonzo's playing great. He's not, like, getting crazy points. I don't think he's reached over 20 points this year so far, but he's distributing the ball very well. Caruso is getting steals. He's proving he's one of the top defenders on the team. Vooch is having a rough season so far. He's kind of cold shooting. He's made a couple clutch shots, but overall he needs to start warming up and getting better. Because once he starts performing even better, I think the team's going to look amazing. Right. But as of right now, he started off really slow. Kobe White, I actually have that in the news here. Kobe White has been cleared to practice now. He played a game with the Windy City Bulls on the G League, and now he's coming back to the active roster. So that's another piece that we're incorporating.
That's good, man.
And our rookie Ayo, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'm not even gonna try. But Ayo, he's been balling as of right now. They've been kind of putting him in, and he just has so much energy, so fast. But he's not getting the minutes that would possibly make him like a rookie of the year or anything like that.
Right, but still, like, it's great to have that depth piece in there.
Yeah. And moving on to the Eagles here. Devontae Smith tied for the third most 20-plus yard receptions, 9 in the NFL since Week 4, trailing only Jamar Chase and Cooper Kupp. Which is pretty cool. Nick Sirianni said Jordan Howard has given his Eagles offensive spark and look forward to using him going in the coming weeks. So, I mean, that's pretty much saying he's going to be on the active roster, which he needs to be. Even in the next year, we should keep Jordan Howard because he's balling. Mortensen on Schefter's podcast were both saying that Philadelphia Eagles are in the running for Russell Wilson after the season, saying that the Eagles are most likely not sold on Jalen Hurts as that dude, which my opinion is if you can get Russell Wilson, get Russell Wilson. If you can't, roll with Jalen Hurts because I'm not impressed with any of these QBs in the draft class. I don't want them going out and trying to trade for any QB other than possibly Russell Wilson, or if you maybe in the possibility Aaron Rodgers, which I don't see that happening. But Russell Wilson, I can actually maybe see the Eagles somehow scooping in a way. But I don't want our name in Deshaun Watson rumors anymore. Russell Wilson, I'm totally cool with. But other than that, I'm cool with Jalen Hurts. And I had the last thing I had here, and I didn't even go looking for this. This popped up on my feed today on Twitter. Someone broke down Jalen Hurts and Mac Jones this year.
Really?
Yeah, someone had all their stats combined, and it is eerily similar.
Okay.
Total touchdown, passing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts had 11. Mac Jones has 10. Total touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has 16. Jones has 10 because Jalen Hurts has 6 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Interceptions. Hurts has 4. Jones has 7.
Damn.
Total yards per game. Hurts is getting around 275. Jones is getting around 240. So they're still getting above 200.
Yeah.
Attempts. Jalen Hurts has around 273 attempts this season. Jones has 300. So he's getting a little bit more passing yards, especially the past couple weeks where Jalen Hurts hasn't really had to throw it too much.
Right.
And the passer rating I have here, Hurts is 91 and Jones is 89. So they're very close on every stat so far.
Jalen Hurts is overall having a better season though.
Statistically, I guess, but overall, I think Mac Jones is having the better season. To be honest,
winning games.
They're winning games. They're putting stuff together. Yeah, and I think that also has to do with the system he's in as well. You know, he's succeeding under that system. Who knows what Jalen Hurts will look like in a better system? And that's just the part of building. You know, with a new coach and a new system. Sirianni's proved that he can coach a game here in the past couple weeks. I'm more so impressed this week against the Chargers that he had a complete game with the run and the passing than I was against the Lions, even though it was a blowout. It still was the Lions. But we'll see against the Broncos here, man. I'm extremely worried about the defense. I don't think that's going to change. I think they're definitely going to end up firing Jonathan Gannon here. Either, if not at the end of the season, in the middle of the season, they're going to fire Gannon.
Broncos.
They put up some yards or whatever, but they ain't gonna win it. We need to get the dub. We need to start racking up some wins. If we get a win, one more win, we'll tie the wins we had last year. We only had 4 wins last year. All I ask is to get above 4 wins this year. Please get above 4 wins.
I don't know what will happen this week against them Broncos.
That's all I ask. Get above 4 wins. But that's all I have here this week. Bulls rolling. I'm just looking forward to seeing them keep rolling. They play the Mavs here, and hopefully they can get that dub.
Gotcha.
So that goes into the crazy sports stat fact of the podcast. This week it has to do with soccer. The Netherlands have competed in more World Cup finals than any other nation without winning one. They reached it in 74, 78, and 2010, but they lost every single time.
Oh, my God. They're like the Bills.
They're like the Bills. Yeah, so that's crazy. It sucks for Holland. Holland is the one that reached the showcase. Every single for the 74, 78, and 2010.
Well, hopefully they can win one soon and end that streak there because that's terrible. That's super sad. So I'm going to start rooting for them in my back pocket there whenever I see the World Cup come up.
Nobody likes to see that, and I will too. As soon as I see like Netherlands and Holland come up, hey, I'm going to be rooting for them. They need a win.
They need to win.
I don't know much about soccer, so I need someone to root for.
Exactly. When the USA is knocked out, I'll root for them.
Exactly. But that's the show this week. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out all the other content on our channel. Make sure to go to Twitter and follow us there. We're trying to get 1K by the end of the year, hopefully. We're close. We're almost to 900. We need at least 100 more, get to 1,000 here. But that's the goal here by the end of the year. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of news to talk about next week and all the games. So until then, we'll see everybody later.